World War I cost the lives of millions of men in the trenches of the Western Front, from Europe to Gallipoli on the Turkish peninsula. Battles raged in the Middle East, Africa, and other regions across the world. These men experienced the brutality of war. Military Chaplain Thomas Tattersall described an experience he had at the beginning of the first Somme offensive in 1916.
Dawn opened with the song of birds. I listened to their hymn of praise. Thousands of men with limbs a-quiver and loud beating hearts were waiting not far away for the signal to engage in battle. At 0500 hours, the bombardment of German lines began, and it seemed as if 10,000 demons of hell had been let loose in an ungovernable rage.
Help!
Men of faith serving in the Great War found themselves facing the gruesome reality of war. Men of peace in the midst of conflict, tasked with the well-being and spiritual needs of the soldier. In this four-part series, we look at the courage and conviction of chaplains who served on the battlefields of the Great War. We highlight the dedicated work of religious societies and organisations such as the YMCA, Salvation Army, Scripture Gift Mission, and many others. The Bible was the book most widely read by the soldiers. We look at the effect it had on them in the trenches. The events leading up to World War I came from tensions between the European powers who were in a race to establish their dominance. Alliances had been formed which split Europe into two major camps. All it needed was a spark. That spark was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the throne of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Consequently, a series of alliances were invoked, plunging Europe into war. Austria-Hungary invaded Serbia, Russia mobilized to aid Serbia, and Germany invaded neutral Belgium before moving towards France, leading Britain to declare war on Germany on the 4th of August 1914. The German march on Paris was soon halted. This line of defence became known as the Western Front. It became a battle of attrition with a trench line. By November 1914, the Ottoman Empire joined Germany and the Austro-Hungarian Empire, opening fronts in the Caucasus and the Middle East. Into this clash of empires we find men of the cross, going where the soldier is sent. Military chaplains have had a long history within the armed services. Right from the time of Joshua in the Old Testament, spiritual leaders have been actively involved with the military. Centuries later, Christian clerics were deployed with their forces as combatants. In the 1300s, clerics began to be deployed more formally as chaplains, their role increasingly becoming more focused on the spiritual. The Army Chaplains Department was later established in 1796.